Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast. I'm your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda, your Lord and Master, your King of Kings. Off here to a glorious 1v1. On you guessed it is. Amilly Fields in the north, it is Eisenkreuz fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, here with the 17th SS Panzergrenadierdivision, Götz von Berlichingen, with close air support, Luftwaffe supply, and awesome doctrine. There's definitely a collection of commanders you don't see a lot of. Infantry, Pantherfaust, Pack West and South, it is Pax Ajax, fighting for America, freedom, democracy, here with the 3rd Armored Division, ready to give those goddamn Nazis hell. With heavy cavalry featuring rifleman defensive structures, smoke barrages, Rangers, combined arms, and the M26 Pershing heavy tank. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacast here in the business. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon or donating via PayPal. Always in a comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. So Grenadier MD42 versus start here, Pax Ajax. Moving ahead there, tanks, traps, barbed wire, maybe some sandbags as well here for the riflemen. Heading east to the other rifle squad. Meanwhile, Eisenkreuz with a hard western focus here, though minor forces are being dispatched eastwards in Germany's name. Still, close air support, Luftwaffe supply. There's a definite heavy emphasis on air support here from Eisenkreuz. We shall have to see which of these two he actually goes for. And then there's Osthofen. He's definitely looking to play something that is a bit beyond the usual. 3rd rifle squad here for Pax Ajax. And yeah, that's nothing wrong. Can at least lead to some fairly interesting matches depending on how well they're utilised. Obviously, if he just makes use of none of it, this is obviously a lot less exciting. Going to be a season eastern point here for Deutschland. 3rd rifle on the way there for Pax Ajax. Sandbags in the centre. Sandbags in the east. Thumbs up there to Pax Ajax. A lot of American players tend to be less keen on actually making use of the sandbag abilities when it comes down to it, but Pax Ajax knows his stuff. He knows his sandbags. Got the eastern point here. Better moving the west there. Go first shots fired at the 2-minute mark here. Close to Eisenkreuz spaces. We got Pax Ajax rifle squad again here. Heavy car versus heavy car. But there goes Segment's got rhyming catch and rifle squad now in a crossfire here. Their position exposed. Pax Ajax rushes more men to assist the rifle squad by the well. Down to just 3 men there already. The focused German gunnery there has left them quite depleted. 2nd rifle squad rhyming. But now the MD42 arrives in. I think it's going to collapse it. There we go. Another early grenade choice in there. Grenades pushed back here. Eisenkreuz takes no chance in the face of the pineapple grenade. His mother always warned him against American fruit. And we got Lieutenant here for Pax Ajax, leading head for freedom, democracy, and sheer aggression. Up here, rifle squad was grenades again. Bit of a cooldown there before they can chuck another grenade. In the actual war, of course, there was no such things as cooldowns on grenades. You just chuck them if you needed to. Or you just chuck them because you could. Particularly what's uncommon, like for some units, like assault units, to basically just carry around these massive just sacks of grenades just to chuck them at the enemy. Obviously really unsporting and uncool in games like coming here to say Call of Duty to chuck grenades, but in the actual warfare, just chucking a lot of grenades is an actual tactic. Rifle squad being straight to the MD42's line of fire here, getting suppressed. On the west side here we got the reactions there as the Grenadiers. Bit of smoky obfuscating, good use of smoke there by Pax Ajax, though without really getting the point. It doesn't really matter, at least rendering neutral. In the centre, push back as well. Lieutenant out there for Pax Ajax, freedom and democracy. On the west, the Grenadiers successfully overpower the re-echelons and send them packing. Also worth noting, Eisenkreuz has committed to a pretty heavy tier 1 here with 4 Grenadiers and 1 MD42. That is a lot of firepower there for him. Lieutenant almost done here. We'll have to see, of course, how he can manage it. I imagine that's going to be a lot of light machine guns because there's nothing else you can really do with them. I mean, theoretically, go for the Luftwaffe or even Ostrom for the officers to buff them. That's actually not a half bad idea. Sees in the western point here, there's a Grenadier. Pax Ajax lines up. And in the east, here we got another skirmish here. Grenadiers rifle squad here. Could see a perhaps grenade. There we go. Doesn't quite go off there as well. You see dodge on the west side here. Grenadiers out in the open. Lieutenant pushing forwards there. Ignoring the main point of contention there. Gonna hit the field point there, imagine. And there we go. Command post upgrade to the mechanized command post. Grenade goes off here. Pax Ajax there definitely showing a eagerness to chuck grenades to his opponent. Meanwhile, we do have tech there for CoH2, can begin upgrading with the LMG-42, can also build the light and mechanized company. And you could consider, but that many infantry squads, a half tech would be a great deal to support them. Typically, though, most veteran players, despite going for such, when they do go for such, they will typically never go for a half tech, despite they would benefit a lot from it. There's some of the Grenadiers here. Lieutenant of the Grenadiers out in the open, MD-42 holding up here, opening up from the Lieutenant. And a smoke from there, thumbs up to Pax Ajax, very consistent use of smoke here. Nice and efficient. Car one hit the ground worse than fuel point. Got a ransom. We even got mines here from Pax Ajax. Wonderful. Unless you're the guy who's going to set off those mines, in which case, obviously not. There's with the Grenadiers in the east. Probably stalling here for the, oh, not stalling, but setting up for the Stuart light tanker, the M5A1, to put pressure on the goddamn Nazis with that. Deep flank of the Rifle Squad. Beautiful setup there by Pax Ajax, and using the effects of the smoke as a distraction as he then swings about the Rifle Squad. They're going for the other car point here. I think you should try going for the machine, but at the same time may not work out. Oh, we're going to swing up here. He's going to have to retreat soon-ish, but even then, he's definitely like hurting Iceland's squad's economy here in the early games. So that's some really good play there by Pax Ajax. Really good handling of the terrain here. Rifle grenade off here. Loses Lewis. We could actually see a wipe here, I think, possibly. We got, oh, smoke here. Increasing the chance of survival here. Very nice. Thumbs up to Pax Ajax. There we go. Enveloped in smoke. Down to one man, but he makes it. Fifth kill on the way there. Ambulance as well here for Pax Ajax. West of the Rifle Squad defending the field against any German attacks. Light machine grenadiers unleashing all they can into that Rifle Squad. Mein Gott, Ludwig! Kills him! I'm trying, but senor, you know, not wanting to die! I mean, looking at the die, she thinks they'd want to die. Yeah, I know, but, you know, when shot at, surprisingly enough, they actually want to live. On the west side, we get Grenadiers being pushed preparations. The Lieutenant, MD-4 tooling up here on the curve point. Eastern Field 1 sees for the Rifle Squad, and there we go. Stuart light tank there for Pax Ajax. Down to 2 men there. And Stuart light tank almost done. 50 coming forwards here. Light and mechanized company. Likely a 2-2, but I imagine the Stuart's going to provoke a Pack 40. A Panzerabwehrkanone 40. It does go for the 2-2 here, but again, should theoretically be able to cancel it in time once he sees the Stuart light tank, but could possibly be too late by the time that happens. Going up here in the center. Swift advance there for Pax Ajax. And he's probably to the shed here with the LMG-40 up in the Lieutenant here as well. 2 machine guns tearing into the Lieutenant. There you go. Smoke run off. Pax Ajax never misses a beat. To have some smoke. To have a nice Marlboro. Coming up the Stuart backing up for some bringing as well. Then on the west here we got to push for the western fuel point. Grenadiers blocking though, and they're so close to the mine. That said, you could actually chuck a grenade and set off the mine behind them. That could possibly result in a wipe. Since when the mine gets set off by another explosion, like, you know, static explosion, it's like a mine gets set off by a grenade, it actually can cause the explosion to get bigger. So didn't spot the Stuart light tank in time. That's going to delay the Pack 40 bit. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I think you should try for it. Like, again, the mine could actually wipe it out there, but maybe would have gone off without doing anything. But he should have tried. But while they're troops reinforcing, ambulance there on the way for Pax Ajax. Armored car, they're running towards the east, they push back the Rifle Squad. 17th SS was a Panzer division made up of ethnic Germans from Hungary and Romania. Overall training levels were actually quite low, and in fact they ended up, I think, trying to, shall we say, bolster the division with some armoured constant troops from the 9th and 10th SS Panzer division to effectively just bolster it, since the overall, again, rating of the division was just so low. So, little fun fact there. Ambulance out there for Pax Ajax. Ground the eastern point. Got the medics on the way there for Eisen's Kreutz. Healing his grenadiers there. 2 squads still to go. 5th cal being caught here. Flanked armored car going to be caught here by the Stuart and the 5th cal there. Could be a quick loss of the 2-2. Yeah, looks like it. No, actually ends up retreating here. Due possibly to the threat of a rifle grenade. But good hit by the armored Pack 4 there. But still a chance of taking out the 2-2. But can he get it out of there before the Pack 4 lights on fire? And there we go. Smoke screen again. Thumbs up to Pax Ajax. Really just on the ball with those smoke screens. Solid play there, honestly. Caught here, laying down mines and disrupting the process. Going to just quickly heal themselves up. 5th Cavalry Lieutenant on the move, route squad as well here, back in Pax Ajax base. Nothing further happening as of yet. He can consider sneaking in some Rangers or some extra assault elements. As for Kreutz, you can consider taking up, pushing for some Panzerwaffe soon, though he could also benefit from a doctrine here. I mean, Luftwaffe for the medical supplies, the field officer, a supply drop in the MD Fed on a Pack 40 could also be an idea here. Close air support is, you know, questionable. It was a doctrine that briefly saw an intense amount of usage because you could actually just convert fuel to munitions, and then you could just use the previously very powerful Stuka into tank strafe and into infantry strafe and just shut down the opponent did. They nerfed them and crucially also nerfed the faucet of infinite munitions effectively. Clearing out the mine there. Didn't have the mission to say chuck a mine grenade on it to at least set off the mumble on it. And after the nerfed it, close air support is just not really seeing any usage. Storming 40, we got 3 kills, veterans 1 being suppressed for the 5th count. We got 376 versus 423. Here's thing sniper the sword light tank, got 4 kills on it, half 8 veteran 2. Up here again, good harassment there by Pax Ajax, good disruption. 5th kill they caught by the other MD-42 under Iceland's Kreutz command here with the 17th SS. When this was still a light tank, Panzerfaust damaging the engine. East Hut, Rascalling for the eastern fuel point there. Fifth kill they're routed. Lots of fighting here for the fuel between the two sides. In terms of like battalion command post, not much going on there for Pax Ajax. Got mines down here there from him. Thumbs up. No mines from Iceland's Kreutz, just more light machine guns, I imagine. Yup. And no tech for either side, though they're definitely within range being to take up here. And Iceland's Kreutz continues to be without a doctrine. And there's like not like any particularly clear indication as to which he's going to go for, because none of them really have a big call-in tank, since that's normally like, you know, the primary reason why a lot of players then don't pick anything right away is just, you know, they're just going to go for the one with the biggest tank. But that's what Pax Ajax got in his doctrine, which he chose right away, but Kreutz got no tanks in any of them. The question is what he's planning there. We also got fast research now. Another 5th getter for Pax Ajax. Honestly, could also benefit from a mortar hammer where some of Iceland's Kreutz support weapons and deploy more smoke screens, but for free. Free smoke screens? That's socialism. Carl, that's not how that works. Ground lesson point here, and he's wiring off that bit there, so basically the sandbags are now wide on both sides. Pack forward in the still light tank. Better 2 gained. And we go Lieutenant flanking in the 5th, MD-42 pushing him back, and 2nd, 5th cut right there for Pax Ajax. Business of the Grenadiers.
Manufacturing capability has been increased.
And there we go, tech for Iceland's Kreutz. And I can say Russia at any armor. They could theoretically like Russia and Ostwind. Oh, Stug is really concerned about enemy armor being hit out there from Pax Ajax, or just the Sewer Light Tank. There are typically few players are so concerned about the Sewer Light Tank that rush out a Stug, though they should be. Eastern Point there being grabbed by the Gunners, got the Rascal with a BAR, their Browning automatic rifle, a World War I era light machine gun. American doctrine when it came to like seriously infantry equipment was a bit reversed what the Germans were. German emphasized the machine guns, didn't put so much emphasis into rifles, and the American infantry doctrine instead emphasized the rifle squad and didn't put so much the rifle, and then didn't put so much emphasis on machine guns. Kreutz with a mortar, thumbs up there, good addition there I think. Gonna use their push back, eastern side ground the point here. Go Grenade and ready here for Iceland's Kreutz. Tony is suppressed by them before at point blank range and taking intense casualties. Vetted to gain the MD-42 crew. Excellent there for Iceland's Kreutz. The map control is steadily slipping beyond his grasp here. And he's definitely going to need some tanks soon to, I think, swing the game back in his favour. Pax Ajax, meanwhile, continues to remain very much... Oh, there it goes, actually about to take up. Just as I say, isn't taking up, he takes up. Brilliant. We got the Grenade for joining in here for Iceland's Kreutz, 8 centimeters. And he pops smoke. Thumbs up. Sergeant, they're using smoke. Yeah, it's free smoke. My God. National Socialism. It makes me sick. West side, you got the MD-42. There was a Ralph squad. Quickly start popping Incendium piercing rounds for a bit more increased damage. Makes it a bit easier to dig them out. Ralph squad's going east in the east. And Sandbags even further east. So Paul McCart there for Kreutz can soon go for a Panzer IV. Though he could also just try and rush out the Ostwind. Probably won't. But, you know, he could consider it. But Panzer IV, there's a nice safe choice. You know, he's probably going to go for. Mortifying the centre here. Going for the eastern point here. Ralph's caught with the Grenadier. We got the Stuart light tank nearby, easily able to support. Also worth noting, we do have a few light anti-vehicle mines here just to say catch up any, I think, aggressive armoured, motorised or armoured raids against the Pax Ajax. I mean, that's a pretty good idea there. And he's caught with the Stuart light tank out there. Immediately suffering some damage. In fact, squad is down to less than half health in a matter of shots. There you go. Jürgen drops dead. Heinrich drops dead. Rudolf drops dead as well. Then Friedrich managed to avenge them all. Can go for the Panther 4 in a few seconds. Panzerkampfwagen 4. Workhorse of the German Panzerwaffe. He's starting to notice the light tank. He's being mortared with the Ralph squad. 17th SS, by the way, did not have access to any Panzer force. Despite technically having a Panzer battalion, they were actually equipped with Stugforce, which were actually commonly used in lieu of tanks. For divisions that couldn't get tanks, like Panzergrenadier divisions, they would typically get Stugforce instead. Fun fact. Pack 40 wiped out. That's a pretty big blow there to Kreutz, and a pretty big win for Pax Ajax. Like, he can just grab that pack and turn positive against, except there's two heavy machine gun teams just barreling down with shots, and there's not enough firepower, so you should be able to get it back there, unless Pax Ajax somehow destroys it. No, by the way, no tanks yet for Pax. He might be hoping he can stall for the Pershing, and theoretically will probably get away with it, but it may be a bit painful. Not enough initiative for the smoke screen, and of course, lacking a more to deploy smoke here. It does make it a bit tougher for him to get the 5th cal of the Pack 4 there to safety. But it does look like he's managing, in part there, of course, screening the remaining gunners there with the sort of light tank. Sherman on the way there, so he's not stalling directly for the Pershing here. Very sensible, but he did lose a squad somewhere. I think there's Rierson's like, nope, not Rierson's, just the Major actually. Setting up the Pack 40, that's going to get wiped, but we'll get a hit on the Panther 4, straight for the frontal armour, and then the crew dies. Steward moving in, but then moving out as it realises it's absolutely no match for a Panther 4. And Pax Ajax replaces the Sherman instead with the Jackson on the line. Kreutz rushing forward is going to do this there to grab the Pack 40 back. Worth noting we're almost 20 minutes of the game and Kreutz has still yet to choose a doctrine. He remains hesitant. MD4 to up the attack here. 4 kills, half expected to on that crew. Got a bash from there by Kreutz, by the way. Ralph's caught, they're being slowly bled out, but they're going to use for the light machine. They got the Panther forming in there as well. 4 kills to his name so far. And there you go, M36 Jackson tanks right up there. Fun fact was based off the Sherman chassis. And there you go, Ralph's caught wipe and a BAR drop. That's a pretty big win there for Iceland's Kreutz. In fact, most American tank destroyers, with the exception of the M18 Hellcat, was actually based off something else and didn't like have an original chassis made for the purpose. The Hellcat was the one main exception. For example, the M10, the M36 based off the Sherman. You had the one based off the M5 half-track. Was it the M3? I think it was the M5. And then you also had one tank destroyer was actually based off a Jeep. Panther 4 still in the Jackson. Pack 40 turning around T. About to lose that Panther 4. And the Jackson there with the damaged engine. Looks like we'll get away. We've got a smoke screen again here from Pax Ajax. Obfuscating the line of sight here of Iceland's Kreutz. And we got the MD42 wiped out. Grenade over as well. You could see the other machine wiped, but no, doesn't get it still. If Pax Ajax grabs the MD42 and turns against Kreutz, that could definitely be a problem. Their foreign mortars is also a problem. There you go, Ralph's taking heavy losses from the German mortar fire. They've got Nartenwerfer fire. Will he grab the MD42 and ignore it? You also should pull back that branch, but it's still too close to the mortar. Then it is a high risk of just getting wiped by a stray mortar bomb, honestly. Pack wiped out again. Lieutenant almost taken out there as well. Mortar pushed back. Will he grab the machine gun? Doesn't look like it. West side, we got gunners moving up here. Ace level flanking out and murdering the 5th Cavalry crew. That beautiful setup there by Kreutz. There's them being absolutely annihilated as Kreutz just tears into them. And we got a Ranger squad here for Pax Ajax. And now, none of his Ranger squad taking conditions to grab the MG42. I think that's a big mistake there by Pax Ajax. I'm guessing he's hoping to grab the Pack 40, but not only has he just like missed him to grab the MG42, he's also lost his 50 cal there. This is getting a bit rough there. He's also a bit short munitions for the Thompson upgrade there for his Rangers. 5th cal left to hold the front line now. What will Kreutz do next? Hard to say. Canard now for their hard work. Fixing up the Jackson tank destroyer. That's swimming in there. And that Grenade Nerf is like going to shut out the 5th cal. Stuart Light tank on the Pack 4. Are the Grenadiers there? Almost got the 5th cal wipe. Yup. He's at least crewed the other one, but he's going to lose that one, I think, to the Germans here. Not. But can he get the MG42 there? I do not think so. Oh, he's going to deploy smoke to then grab it. Sneaky. Thumbs up. So we got 21 minutes of the game now, having been through, and still no Doctrine of Meister's Kreutz. Like, which is going to be at this state? Like, Luftwaffe? Close air support? He's like 149 versus 409. Like, he needs to, I think, make a decision, like, start pushing something here. And honestly, I think he should go for the Luftwaffe supply just to get, say, stuff like the field officers to boost his Grenadiers so they have more firepower during an attack. I mean, that'd be pretty good. Plus, in action, there's more smoke and other elements there I think could be pretty good there for Meister's Kreutz. We shall see what he goes for. He can soon go for another Panther. He can also go for the Stug. As for Pax Ajax, still, Pax Ajax is really holding a lot of like the cards right now. He's got like a fair amount of infantry, including some elite. He's got 3 machine gun teams. He's got in some ways the armoured advance. He's got the big 2-point lead. He's about to lose the Stuart Light tank. I think he's making the wrong decision. He should just moved ahead here, gone forwards, and then taken the path here. But of course, he may not consider this actually as a part of the map. Or something you can do on the map, I suppose. Smoke's in the center here, so good kill there for us as Kreutz helps relieve some of the pressure, but he still needs to get those victory points under his control soon. Before Pax Ajax just snuffs him out like a candle. Troops reinforcing healing, need to upgrade these Rangers. 5th cal, there was the Grenadiers on the west. 5th cal machine gun in the center there. Ralph's got pushed back with the Grenadiers in the east. Reinforcing, got a BA on him. Rangers still very short munitions for the Thompson they probably want. I mean, you can also just equip them like triple bars. You can do that. So Rangers is one of the few units that can actually have more weapons than the others. Which means that, for example, like most units can like only like say 2 light machines, like say 2 bars. The Rangers can actually equip themselves with a total of 3 bars or 3 bazookas if you want that. American MG42 the ambush pushed back by Eisenhower's Kreutz brave men, and the Western Rail squad pushed back with the Grenadiers there as well. Panther 4 halfway done. Rangers rushed in there. Pax Ajax definitely feeling the pressure, and he's definitely stalling for the Pershing now. Almost got the Pioneer squad here. There we go. Down they go, and the Grenadiers routed as well in the east. We got 100 points though versus 409. Eisenhower's Kreutz is on the precipice. There needs to be some significant tactical changes and strategic changes versus Pax Ajax. Soon he's just going to get crushed. Panther 4 there on the way. Turn and push back by the Grenadiers. Leaving the 5th cal to defend the fuel point there. In terms of fuel, he's a minute away from the Pershing. In terms of manpower, we're probably looking like closer to 3 to 4 minutes. Panther 4 there, adding the Pinderman and MD42. Thumbs up. Always a good upgrade to have, but still no Doctrine for Kreutz. This is really concerning considering really how low he is on victory points too. Almost got the lieutenant here. We got Ross going up. Jackson on the move as well here. Good hit on the Panzer IV.
The capture point is under attack.
Gonna do this flanking the 5th cal. Nicely done there. We got another 5th cal moving up. We got 293 with 406. Jackson again hammer the Pack 40. Panther Vet Grenade almost taking out the Grenadier squad. That'd be a huge blow to Arsenal's Kreuz. Smoke in the center. In the west, the 5th covers the Grenadiers for the western field point. Baker kind of close to that Pershing again. I mean, field-wise, he is pretty much there, but it's the manpower that's really like, you know, where things are currently a bit tight here for Pax Ajax. And the Malta is definitely not making things easier. Now that Pack 40 here for Eisen's Kreuz. He's planning, or he's more likely just probably concerned about a Pershing heavy tank. Like, he knows what doctrine his opponent's gone for. Like there is no doctrine that's access to off-map smoke barrages and ranges. In fact, just the off-map smoke barrage that isn't like, you know, heavy cavalry. And this is the MG42 in the center. So he's obviously starting to concern himself about the possibility of a Pershing heavy tank coming to like break through his lines, which is a very sensible concern to have at this point of the match, honestly. That's it, the manpower bleeding is making it fairly more manageable here. Versus quite sold out against that, since again Pax Ajax is bleeding fairly aggressively, so it is somewhat tough for him to get there. At least easily. Vex on the Panzer IV. We got Lieutenant of the Gunners in the east. Not going to see a grenade here. No grenades. Lieutenant, double bars, they're just saying to the Gunners up close. Jackson's the Panther 450 gun need to retreat now before Eisen's Kreuz wipes and turns the machine against Pax Ajax. There we go, wiped. Pack push back. Got Lieutenant, but he can't grab it because that's to be sacrificed. And Lieutenant, that would absolutely not be worth it here for Pax Ajax. He'd lose an ace Lieutenant unit with double bars. That is just not worth that at all. So he needs to get some other unit over there to actually grab the 50 count, turn it back against Eisen's Kreuz before Eisen's Kreuz decides that's a very nice machine gun gewehr. Another machine gun here for Eisen's Kreuz. Still no doctrine though. I mean, we're almost half an hour into the game and Kreuz is still yet to pick anything. So anyway, makes it look a lot less impressive when he's coming with all these, like, you know, so say fairly non-meta commander choices, and then can't like pick one in like a half an hour. That's a bit awkward. So Grab Squad going for the Gunners, are going to push them out. MG4 almost done. In the center there, we got heavy fighting there going on as well. Could pop the incinerator piercing rounds maybe, but I think the MG4 crew's dying at too fast a pace now to do that.
They have only 75 points remaining.
72 points left. I mean, things are getting really uncomfortably tight here for Eisen's Kreuz at the moment. He really needs to just like something drastic soon here before he just gets, you know, snuffed out or throttled. Pioneer's going for the Rough Lieutenant in the east. Fifth gun, the MG4 to the center. Panther moving ahead here, going for the Lieutenant in the east. 48 points left with Eisen's Kreuz. The situation is getting really uncomfortably close here for Eisen's Kreuz. And so far, it doesn't seem like he's doing much of changes. He still hasn't chosen a command. He's got 38 points left. And Pax Ajax, though, is still, thankfully for Kreuz, bleeding out manpower quite aggressively. Of course, it's done for that perk. Doesn't like any tanks like help absorb stuff, and crucially also doesn't like any other sources of smoke. In fact, he's almost stopped using smoke entirely to cut some of his attacks and defenses, which makes it again easy for Kreuz to bleed him out. And there you go, at the 29-minute mark, almost half an hour into the game, we do get a doctrine. It is Luftwaffe supply with airdrop medical supplies, the Luftwaffe field officer supply drop, incendiary bombing run, and the heavy bombing run. He's actually used the incendiary bombing run there. Hopefully it goes to the officer. I think he's a pretty neat unit. Pax Ajax though driving in there, going straight for the easy support rooms there. Almost got the mortar. Pack 40 ultra in trouble here, and a lone gunner down to one man, but he did grab the 50 cap. That could get wiped. So we got range moving forward, equipped with bars as well. So Just barred up the Rangers instead of equipping the Thompsons. Got the mortar, but his infantry is being torn to shreds here by Iceland's Cross. Jackman 40 almost knocked out. Pax firing at the tank destroyer, and it goes down. A huge blow here to Pax Ajax. But he is very close to that Pershing. Still, probably would have been better not to lose it. We've got 33 versus 369. Rangers routed, back here reinforcing, but again delaying the Pershing further. At this point he probably would off just going for a couple more Shermans and then just holding up with them for a Pershing. Lieutenant Learson shouting forwards here. Panther 4 need repairs. Can soon go for another Panther 4. We got 30, 50, 15, 42. Very close to that Pershing. Very, very close to the Pershing. MD4 to Aislip holding up here by the eastern side. Panther 4, they're getting the repairs it finally needs. There we go. At the 31-minute mark, Pax Ajax is finally able to call in the Pershing heavy tank. But fairly late to the party on that one. Setting out the Pershing here. From the western point. Tier 4 here for Eisenhower's Kreuz. That's pretty ambitious. Like, his opponent just calling the Pershing, though, finally after much delay. He's down to 33 points, but Kreuz has apparently decided that right now is the right time to then stall or go up for something bigger rather than just pushing up more medium armor now. An interesting decision here by Eisenhower's Kreuz, but we'll have to see if this bites him in the arse or not. Definitely not what I'd recommend, though. Mortar back in action, this time they're manned by Grenadiers. Smoke shot off against the Grenadiers, more Grenadiers moving about here. Eastern point makes use by the ME-42. Using cover of the smoke here to push through these fairly weakened lines in some ways, fast across in the centre. On the west side here being held up by the Grenadiers with light machine guns, heavy machine moving up there. Centre assault is already petering out on the west side. The progress is not being made at a much swifter pace here either. At this rate, Kreuz may just calling another incendiary bombing run to slow down his opponent. Well, in theory, he could try and stay up for the heavy bombing run. Oh, I don't know why I'd use that just to contest the pop, but there is a big 2 points he may have to, I suppose. It's a fairly expensive ability and a bit questionable utility, but oh well. Modifier there, smoke's run off again. Jack's Pershing going here for the Panther 4. Damaged engine. The pressure in Iceland's Cross remains intense and the center units lost. They got the Pack 40 though. Rangers pushing forward over the BAR. Actually multiple bars now. Change to the port winds, force no to retreat here. Moving on the center, Neiman 5. We got the Pack 40 ground points here for Kreuz and Deutschland. Almost got the unity of the Rangers to cover. They don't extend. They're very low. Being steadily surrounded here by a lot of angry Grenadiers with a lot of angry machine guns. Rangers sent home. And the far west, Grenadiers moving for the western victory point there. And we got an incendiary bomb around here in the centre, I think. Yup, to try and keep it out of American hands. But sadly for Kreuz, falls too late. They could catch some units in the street there, and there we go. Johnny and Bobby there burnt to bits. Or crisps, I guess. Ground Lewis and victory point for the Grenadier. We got 30 versus 295. So he's gone for tier 4, but he has to build the heavy Panther. The question is, what is he planning? I mean, one option I suppose could be going for something like a Panther to try and contest the Pershing. Going to end up being hammered here by the 50 cal. Smoke off there. Ground Lewis and for the Grenadier. Mortar ring down. Panther 4 sitting up. Pack white. Back in Pax Ajax base there. He still would benefit, I think, from some light artillery, like a mortar could still be good, but he'd also just consider Scott at this point, to be honest, and some Shermans, I think, would also be excellent additions for Pax Ajax versus Eisenhower's Kreuz. If he keeps up with these head-on attacks, it's not much on the flank for example. Like, there's a bit there in the west, but the eastern one, for example, tends to see a lot less pressure there for the most part. I also think in part just Pax Ajax intense focus on the center victory point, just attacking head on into it every time, has been a fairly expensive process for him. I think that's been one of the reasons why the Pershing has been so delayed. For Pax Ajax, he does these incessant, at times even pointless fights around the center there that just let him dry and delayed, like any ability to like get out just a lot of tanks as well. Panzer 4 strikes back in these though. 16 kills close to 82. We got 30 points still left though. Rest of the 264.
Smoke screen to blind the enemy. Gun crew just got wiped out.
Got the support, but then in fact Pax Ajax is just steadily bleeding out still. Meanwhile, Iceland's Cross's just been finding a lot more conservative, really just been trading victory points in a way like just a real full strength, and while it is definitely a highly risky strategy, in this case it's kind of been working, it seems, which is quite impressive. But there you go, another flank of the Arch Rangers. We got incendiary bombing run here to cover the flank here against any further pressure there from Pax Ajax. I mean, he's been using that ability a lot. There you go, catch the Rangers and the Rav Squad in Inferno. And there you go, Panda 4 gaining Veggie 2. Rav Squad almost burned up to, you know, Cinder's Ranger Squad. And there you go, Rav Squad wiped another staggering blow to Pax Ajax at this point. He is getting absolutely beaten into the ground here by Iceland's Kreutz now. Despite Kreutz again being solo on victory points. Again, it very much seems like almost like he's deliberately just been trading victory points like just a real field advantage. He's just been bleeding up Pax Ajax until he can just turn the game around. Ground loss and pumps is going to de-equip the MD42 and the BAR. Heavy Panzer Corps there fires this Kreutz. 70's not having any Panther forces, 17th SS, but not certainly not having access to any Panthers.
The capture point is under attack.
Very, very few Panzer Grenadier divisions actually have Panthers, most were because they'd absorb the Panthers from Panzer brigades later in the war. Or in the case of the 11th SS Panzer Grenadier Division, because they actually received a bunch of Panthers that the Germans had deemed unworkable, they couldn't salvage them, but they actually got them to work again. They were otherwise just meant to be used as like Panther tombs. Yes, Basil, you're a pretty kitty. Western Point MD42 versus 50 cal. Sherman away there for Pax Ajax, Freedom and Democracy. Iceland's Cross of the heavy Panzer Corps can now go for the Panther that's what he wants, and that is exactly what he wants. He does go for the Panther here, the Panzerkampf Wagen 5.
Send your orders.
And Basil goes, yeah? Once he does not.
Armor here.
Sherman almost done it for Pax Ajax. He's down to 200 versus 27 Iceland's Kreutz. Sadly no officer here.
Tank support is here.
You feel like he benefited from that, also be a lot more interesting. But I got the Sherman out here for Pax Ajax, the M4A3, adding the 50 cal.
Armor ready.
Got his squad here with a Pershing and his 90mm gun. Almost got the gun. He's got Rangers. We've got Ralph Squad moving up here as well. And he's actually equipped the Rangers with an MD42 picked up from the Grenadiers as well there. It seems, so they can fire that on the move as well. Pretty sneaky stuff there. We got 20 centimeters on the 64. Panther on the move here for Iceland's Kreutz and for Deutschland. Another smoke showing off here in the midst of everything. So still the Pack 4, we got the Panther moving in here as well. Sherman on there being engaged with the Panther 4, shots bouncing up plenty, but there you go, Panther shot it's not. Pack 40 doesn't bounce off the Sherman's armor either. In fact, Sherman narrowly makes out there. Ranger Squad, Route Squad trying to flank in, but they are met with intense harsh resistance here from Iceland's Kreutz and routed. Another loss there for Pax Ajax. He's bleeding out fast. He's going for another Jackson tank destroyer. He got 20 centimeters, 149. Should have the pinlock machine into the Panther. Route Squad almost wiped out. Armor need repairs. Some intense pressure on Pax Ajax here from Iceland's Kreutz. Three kills on the Panther. Western Point makes use of the 3 echelons. Jackson halfway done.
WPM-110 smoke strike can be delivered to cover our men. Crew, a capture point
Jackson
is
almost
being
on for Pax Ajax. We got 20 centimeters on the 44. Kreutz moving up swiftly. Could consider laying down some mines, or is he saving up for a heavy bombing run?
Our supply line just got cut off.
Panther shoots, bounces off the Pershing's armor. Rangers right here by the near Ace Panzer IV. There you go. Jackson tanks are ready. Pershing selling Dynamic repairs. Sherman, you need repairs again after that encounter with the Panther. 27 is on the 36. Reasonable cheating, since of course he needs more assistance to fix up the Pershing fast. Sneaking the Panther in there, removing some more terrain here to clear up fewer places to hide there for Pax Ajax. Sherman being fixed up. Here's move. Finally getting back. This is going to move, I guess, to repair the Pershing. Moving the Sherman, the Jackson. 27 is on the 29. There it goes, straight into the Panther with the Jackson. Got to get Panther as well. Possible, nope. Grenadiers fall back before the Ham's got the Pershing moving in. They're trying to get a wipe on the Grenadiers, but they escape here the wrath of Pax Ajax. Fixing up all of his armor. That may take a bit of a while here. Meanwhile, Iceland's CoH2 could theoretically bring up more stuff and just begin digging bunkers. In fact, that's exactly what he's doing here by the eastern victory point. Digging a machine gun bunker there. Thumbs up. 27 was on the 20. Pershing being rushed forwards here. Pax Ajax feeling the pressure, the intensity of the match here. Rushes ahead with his heavy tank in the fire. He's got range squad coming up here. Looks like it might try and flank around, hit the victory point from another angle. Machine gun bunker, they're almost ready here for Iceland's Kreutz as well. He could also consider one in the center, or maybe once he gets the western victory point, if he can get his hands on it again, he could set up one there as well. Another Sherman here for Pax Ajax. That's going to be a lot of armor then. There we go. Machine gun bunker ready here by the eastern point. Make it fairly difficult there for Mr. Pax Ajax to run for the eastern victory point. That's a 107. Panther Pershing there's almost fixed up. Panther 4 creeping out here. Got the wreckage of the Jackson there, still smouldering. Rascal thinking something. There you go. Jackson Pershing holds in the Panther 4. There you go. We got combined arms. That's pretty cool there. Thumbs up. Still need to keep the infantry and armor close together there to fully max. But that's showing up in his own, but without the combined arms bonus, it's going to be certainly going in pretty deep without any support. Jackson forwards, Pershing there being held up. Infantry firing around to arriving. Almost got the Sherman there, and the Panther swords at half health. Jackson rushing forwards, again the infantry can't keep pace, they can't assist. And there goes Sherman abandoned. Pershing held up with the other stuff. The other Sherman arriving here, but there's just the assault is so limited here, and it's just not doing enough. And there you go. Jackson completely destroyed. He's done just the Pershing, the Sherman, a bit of infantry, and that's it. His forces are being annihilated. And the Eastern Rangers being pinned down by the machine gun bunker. And the West going to come the western point there back. We've got 27 versus 86. Pershing, they're halfway to the east. Panther pushing back. They're close to 82. Panther Faust on the Pershing. Sherman rushing forwards here. There you go. Panther kaput. Absolutely kaput. But at the same time, Pax Ajax forces are next to nothing. Their numbers have been heavily decreased and reduced. Shots bouncing off the Pershing. Yes, Sherman pushing forwards here to maybe exploit the Pershing. It's being used as a target. More reasons out here for Pax Ajax. Panther for the east level. That's definitely bad news for the Sherman, particularly when it's backed up by a pack. 27 was on 50, and there goes Sherman down. He's down in just the Pershing, Rearson squad, Ranger squad, and the ambulance. Pulling back the Pershing here. Panther 4 going for a deep flank hit. Grenade off there from the Pershing. Crew can chuck it on their own there. Advancing 2. Panther they're going for the flank. Thumbs up. Calling it. Oh, we actually get the heavy bombing run. Guessing he's going for the ankle. There you go. Pershing down. Looks very impressive, doesn't it? But yeah. At this point, it doesn't really matter. We've got 27 versus 20 at this point. I think Pax Ajax is very much dead. Not really much left you can do at this point. So there we go. GG, game over. The victory for us quite a bit closer times. They could have gone for that doctrine sooner, benefit a bit more from it, but certainly nice to see it used nonetheless. Some brutal engagements here, but in the end, Iceland's Crotch, I think, just traded things more steadily and actively, whereas I think Pax Ajax made increasingly bad calls that did think have the right force composition for the counter tactics he kept trying at there. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Team. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Till tomorrow again for a nice episode. Yes, Basil, I have told them about, they can pledge on Patreon or donate via PayPal. Thank you, Basil. Cheers, everyone.